universities. If you're new to this show, my name is TG and I'm the host of this show here daily. And this is Open Talks. We do this every day. Please do well to share, like, subscribe to our channel on Facebook and on YouTube. We do this daily. We come here, we talk about issues that bothers our economy. And today is one of such days that we are gathered here. And today we are looking at this subject before you, where Governor Sanwo-Olu actually walked into two of these children yesterday on their way to help their mom. Now, you must have heard of the high rate of out-of-school kids in Nigeria, and it is really alarming. If you want to read about that, just put on Google and just type out-of-school kids in Nigeria or rate of out-of-school kids in Nigeria. It will surprise you that we have the highest rate of out-of-school children in the world. Note that, in the world, we have the highest rate of out-of-school children globally. So that's to tell you that according to UNICEF, they said we have about 10.5 million kids that are out of school in Nigeria alone. 10.5 million kids that are out of school. The question is, how many children do we have in Nigeria that will have 10.5 million that are out of school? And this picture you're seeing here was just recent, just a few days ago. And this is in a commercial city of Lagos. So if this could be in Lagos, imagine how many more kids that will not be privileged to walk into a savior. Imagine how many more kids out there that will not be privileged to walk into a sponsor. Somebody who can actually say, I'm giving you scholarship. Somebody who can say, okay, because of the situation of things, we'll liberate your family. Many of these kids out there who don't have a voice, who don't have somebody to bring them out in the media for others to see their situation. How do we handle this situation? This is the question we're going to debate today. How do we address the issue of out-of-school children? Out-of-school children, how do we address it? Please do well to share this conversation and let's engage. Let us engage. Please, if you're watching from Facebook, if you're watching from YouTube, let's dive into this conversation. Now, if you look at our system, if you get to these developed countries, I always say this, that when we say developed country, there's small things that is basic things you think are irrelevant. They are the things that actually constitute development. Not the massive thing we look at, oh, let's make everybody know. It is little bit. You cannot find a child hawking on the street in a developed country. Never. You cannot find a child hawking on the street in a developed country. Not talk of school hours. You get, before a child will go to work or go for, whether you call it your personal business, your mom's business, I went to just help somebody, you must be up to the age of 16 in many countries, many of the developed countries. So in our system, because of the high level of poverty, you can see that parents in their capacity cannot even afford basic needs, not to talk of the one for children, children's education, well-being, and others. Some of these children, if we put them to test, it will amaze you what they are going through psychologically. You understand? But in our system, nobody cares. People don't look at these little things. These are children who are meant to be in school, but while their mates are in class learning, they are on the streets going to help their mom to grind some things, according to the story. I think if I get it correctly, you get. But the question is, why will a child be on the street while school is in progress? This is the question. What is the measure? Because this is also, I think, when we hear that the government arrests the parents or put the parents to, you will hear, go and listen to it. It will amaze you, because sometimes we say government. No, everything is not government. We will look at it from the two sides of the issue. We will look at the government aspect and look at the parenting aspect, because these are the kind of things that leads to you see children in our society joining ritual activity, like we saw just recently last week. You get, these are the kind of things that cause, in fact, early this week rather, these are the kind of things that cause these kind of things. You see those kids that join, that say they want to go and join, do ritual activity. Ask yourself, don't they have parents? But they are telling you that they came to live with someone in a state where they don't know anybody, that they were chased out. That is just high level story. Let's dig down the base. It will amaze you to hear some other things behind the scene that are not possibly narrated by those kids. And the question is, what is happening to the parents of those children that they let those children out to people for them to live with? You get? This is the question. These are the kind of things that causes that cause those kind of having to get your children to go and live with people. Like this, if they see one uncle or one neighbor that say, I will take you to the city to go and live with, they will follow. And it is possible that they are not even living with their parents, that they are living with people, one uncle, one auntie who brought them from village, and this is what they use them for to do. So the question is, we have a public school that is free in Lagos, unless I'm mistaken, unless the system has changed. Lagos public school is free. And I've said it before that this class struggle makes many parents believe, oh, the public school doesn't work, it doesn't deliver value. Whereas the public school in most of these cities, they are even better than the private schools. But parents still believe, okay, what is the excuse? Is it that there is no school for these children to attend freely in the community? Or is it that it is too much? If it is too much, this is where I say we'll still have to address this kind of conversation, because seeing children of this nature falling out of school at this tender age, this is the early stage of a child, and they are already out of school. So let's imagine how their future will look like, because they are growing up in that kind of psychological pain already. They are having that pressure in them as teenagers, as children. Then when they grow up, what do they grow up to become in society? You see where our future is. This is where I worry about the future of our generation. The kind of leaders who are breeding for tomorrow. If not, I know we feel, oh, our leaders are breeding, but the heat from the masses will still push, even if they breed their like or breed their children, will give room for more trouble, more terrorism, more insecurity. This is this is the cause of this thing. Because these children can easily be taken advantage of. Because when the suffering gets too much, and they by virtue of opportunity come across anybody who say, I can help you, they will jump into it. Anybody will give them little opportunity to think, to make them feel, oh, this one will work better. Instead of you suffering yourself, join us in doing this, or help me do this and I'll give you this in return. They will jump into it. This is how these kids are taken advantage of. You get, when you see that they take advantage of these children, this is how it starts. It is because of lack. You get, I believe on the parent side, we should look at these parents that are having these kids that are out of school, especially in areas where we know that there are free schools, like Lagos. Lagos has free public school. So what deprives a parent from taking the child to school while school is on? You get, or in rural area, or in rural area where we know, okay, maybe there's no school. This is now where, how many children that are suffering in those areas, who is their voice? Who is their mouthpiece? Who is representing those children? You can imagine. So whether we look at it from the side of government, and these children are not meant to be facing this, whether it is the fault of the government or the fault of the parents, children should be subjected to this. So who is their mouthpiece? Who speaks for them? 10.5 million kids. Let me show you the statistics. They said 10.5 million kids are out of school in Nigeria. So you look at that, and that is a world, a global, this thing. We are topping the list in that regard. So this is where it should bother us, that we have this number of kids. I don't know if you can see it. The United Nations Children Fund has said that 10.5 million children are out of school in Nigeria, which is the highest rate in the world. Globally, this is the highest rate. Let me scroll down to the middle so you read this yourself. Let me bring it lower. So you see, now read this. 10.5 million children are out of school in Nigeria, which is the highest rate in the world. The figure indicates that 1/3 of Nigerian children are not in school. 1/3. And 1 in 5 1 in 5 out of school children in the world is a Nigerian. That is not a good statistics. We cannot always be in the news for the negative reasons. This is a report by UNICEF, like you saw just now. Now, these children, how do we really address the issue of out of school? Today, I read the news that our president has said, okay, they should advocate for the use of more contraceptive to reduce population. Instead of reducing population, was it reducing population? Yeah, well, that is fine. I'm not against that. But why don't you talk about how to reduce poverty? Why don't you talk about how to? Because most of these children, it is because of poverty. No sane mother, no sane father who has things, as in who has a little bit of life, who allow the children to go through this. So why can't we advocate for poverty alleviation program? You get? And on top of this one, you are talking about children that are not being able to cater for, but people are still fighting for more universities. We are still fighting for. So who are attending this university and who will go into this university? We've not been able to cater for children who should have basic education, because that's the differential. I always say it. We think having PhD is the problem in Nigeria, and we're fighting for more polytechnic. Why don't we fight for solid primary, secondary, and that level? So if we have that solid education, at that level, we can create small technical schools. Schools that are practical oriented, so that people can get hands-on skill that they can make a living off what they've studied in school. Craft centers. Now, Lagos State is talking of 2 new universities. Recently, we had Delta State talking about new university as well, new polytechnic. You get? I think those states also the same. Now the question is our problem creation of universities? We are creating more universities. Unemployment rate is on the rise. We're talking about unemployment. Now we're talking about children, out of school kids. What kind of society? If we are creating more universities and unemployment rate is on the rise, it shows that we have to talk about the root cause. The root cause of this thing is not people going to universities. The root cause is the module. What we study in this university, does it still sound relevant to today's reality? Does it still meet today's demand? You understand? This is the kind of things that we are not addressing. I feel the root cause of this, all our problems should be addressed. And that should be the top conversation across the media. By young people like you and myself, by those in governance, by those community leaders, the parents even. This should be our center or focus. What can we do to put an end to a high level of unemployment, high rise in out of school children in our society? You understand? When you have this number of unemployment on the rise, we give room for insecurity. We give room for these ritual activities. Yes, we say we can't blame them enough, to be honest, because we cannot say because there's poverty in the land that you want to use your own neighbor to make wealth. But to an extent, if they have job in time and they have means of livelihood, many people will not look into those means, into those things. So how can we cope this in? Now we're talking about creation of 2 universities in Nigeria, in Lagos. I feel the conversation should be about curriculum. Let's create schools. Let's modify the school system. Let's not say everything is admission, go to classroom. The classroom learning should be streamlined. And I think government, is time our leaders sat down with these multinational organizations. And I posted something like that in my handle earlier today, that our leaders should think of creative means of creating this job. Why don't we engage these NGOs, multinational organizations, like in Nigeria? Let me use school organization like in Nigeria, like Coca-Cola, Cadbury, Nestle, Dangote Foods and the rest, Dangote Cement, Lafarge, name all those Nigeria breweries. You get? Honeywell, all those. Why can't the government engage these big companies, even the oil industry, the same thing? In different states, we have different big companies out there. Why can't they engage and partner with them? So we have an on-the-job certification program where you can still earn a degree from the workplace, just the way it is in most of these developed countries. And that's what they are moving into now. In Britain, they were debating this recently, that the people of students taking loan. This is people that government will provide loan for you to go to school. Oh. You get? But they are still telling you that when they graduate from school, there's no job. Many of these people don't have the dream job they go to school for. So instead of that, taking that loan for 3-4 years to graduate, and you come back and you waiting, loan is waiting for you piled up, why don't they use that to actually go for apprenticeship program, when a system where you learn on the job? So you look at what do you really want to do. As a teenager, you should have a passion. And that is when people can actually define what they actually want in life, actually. At that teenage age, they know, oh, I want to become this. As they are following their passion, when they graduate from, when they finish from secondary school, they move into an organization that provides such services or such product. Then they go into that line, they learn on the job while being supervised by being assessed. So you finish from the period of 3-5 years, you see earn the same degree because they will match the system in a work-based environment. So as you're graduating, it's either you must have learned a skill that can earn you a living, or you must have gotten an experience that can earn you a job. It's a two-way thing. So this is the way I feel this unemployment will be driven down drastically in a short while. Because many of the company, when you put them, okay, a child is going to, instead of driving university, we partner with this company. Government creates the necessary facilities that they will need to do their job or to accommodate these kids. So if it means the children going there and they earn little peanut from either the government or from the company, they put them in necessary distance. While they are doing little tasks, they are being mentored by somebody in the place. So automatically, the company will still get, at least to an extent, free labor or cheaper labor while these children are learning from them. So, or it could be termed as a form of corporate social responsibility upon organization. It should be put in as a policy and passed into law. So this company will know, okay, they have a place. There's a government scheme. So when you're instead of screening you, there should be a board that you go through. You apply. The government assign you to this organization. You go there. You do your study, and at the end of the day, you see that you come up with hands-on practical experience, or you must have known the line you're going to study if it's a practical or a skill-based listen. This is the kind of learning I'm talking about the canvassing for. And I've argued this with some people in a group on Facebook before, that what we call learning, we just believe it is only when you go to degree. Paper certification is not what guarantees job in this day and age. And what determines you making wealth or being great in life is not that degree. You get? So until we start canvassing for this whole thing for a proper reform in the academic system, things will not work. It will not have a proper change in our living or in the system as it pertains to youth and unemployment. Because most of us will go to university, you study sciences, you come out, you are looking for either where to vomit or to pour back what you've just been taught verbatim, or how will I put it? Or you remain unemployed. So how can we create a system where unemployment is the norm? When you graduate, it's like you don't have anything to do with the degree. You get the point? It's like you don't have anything, no value for the degree that you just struggled to get for the past 6, 5 years, 4 years you're studying. Because our minimum bachelor's degree is 4 years. The minimum we can study in Nigeria is 4 years. So after 4 years, you still have 1 year of national service. That's 5 years. You get? After that 5 years, you still come out and be roaming the street. That calls for attention. Now that people cannot, it is difficult for young graduates to set up businesses, to set up companies for themselves. It shows the curriculum is lacking somewhere. Something is not matching up. So it shows the reality on ground doesn't match the curriculum. The curriculum doesn't match the reality on ground anymore. So it's time we reform the system, and let's say, okay, how can we create a dynamic academic system that actually caters for both academic and practical skill? So as you're coming out from university, or you're graduating from, whether you call it MVQ, the way they call it, any form of the way they call that academic system, but it should not be this university curriculum that we're studying now, because the current doesn't serve the current need anymore. You get? It is obvious that the current, because for you to have high level of unemployment in a society that has very brilliant youth, The curriculum drains this youth out. I know what it takes to study in Nigeria. People study, they can actually have time to do things. We study 5 days. Even some department, they can study 6 days. You go to lecture, say Saturday, Sunday, some department. Maybe fixed classes anyway. But truth is, in a system where you drain out 5 days and over the weekend, they'll have assignment piled up and curriculum to look up, assignment to look up and all that kind of thing. Why don't we streamline the university system first of all to say, let's stream it to 3 days of study. Whether you are studying, whatever you are studying, it shouldn't be more than 3 days. So you go to school 3 days, you have 4 days for yourself. That's the academic system. Let's change it. And why don't we change this exam style and inculcate more of assignment-based system and fewer examinations? I'm not saying there should be the examination, it should be balanced here, but we should have more examination-based courses. Well, okay, assessment-based courses. That okay, this course there's no examination. It's just assignment. You do your research, you do your 10 papers, and things like that. That will reduce the pressure and the stress on students, so they can have time to also do any other thing for themselves. Then on the side, we should have a different kind of academic system where you don't come to direct degree. So the classroom system is not for you. The system that you want is, internship. You get, we have an internship system of study. You will still become a graduate. If you want to study accounting, we look for accounting firms. Okay, you partner, you register, you say, okay, I want to go partner through the internship route. There are organizations you choose to. You register in that portal. These organizations, they get the applications. Then they get, or you even call them up, you negotiate your way, they do interview like, okay, we feel, okay, you're competent, you have the right economics knowledge, or the account knowledge, or the commerce knowledge in secondary school already. Okay, we can take you in and we grow you up. So while you're doing that, there's an assessment on the side. So it's not as if you're just going there to only work. No. They do it so that, okay, maybe as we are coming through the apprenticeship, 3 days is for work, 2 days is for paper work, academic, listen. While you're there, but you're being assessed in one way or the other. And at the end of the day, you still earn a degree through the apprenticeship scheme. You get? I believe that will create opportunity for more youths to get on the job, to get on the business ladder, to get on the company creation ladder, employment creation, small scale businesses, and people will make a living for themselves. But the system of just pouring everybody into university, but we are fighting. That's why you see these days, everybody is fighting for creation of more university, more private schools, more tertiary institutions, as if that is the only thing that we can do. It is so because people believe, there are many people looking for admission yearly. So we think the solution is create more uni, create more college of education, create more institute of continuous learning, create more polytechnics. This is not the solution in my submission. The solution should be, let us diversify our academic system. Let us streamline the patronage for university admission. Let us say, okay, if you are still in education sector like college of education, let's not have college of education. Let's call them University of Education. When you finish that 3 years, you are prepared for teaching. You get? That way, everybody, there has lots of schools already. Let's not begin to say polytechnic. Then at the end of the day, we'll use all these ones, the same number of years people spend, but studying the same curriculum that everybody, all of us come and meet on the street, walking up and down, looking for OND job as a bachelor's degree or as a master's degree holder, applying for jobs that are not even up to the degree you're holding in terms of criteria of employment criteria. You see some of these things are the things that I think we need strategic and innovative way of approaching these problems that are facing us. And this is one of the major ones that I think that we have the resources within to address it. We have the resources within to address it. You get? We have the resources within to address it. And we must think in this line. But most of our leaders were not thinking in this line yet. This is why we are here. The situation is still the way it is, making it seem that it is practically impossible to put an end to the unemployment. It is not impossible. We think it is impossible now because people are not yet, most of our leaders are not yet thinking strategically. The same way of doing things is the same way they want to continue. Okay, let's create more university, let's employ people. That university will create job. You think the university will create job, but the university is not creating the job that we really need in society. Because it will only employ few staff, few lecturers, this is the same civil service job. Why can't you create a system that produces employers of labor. As against creating a system that produces job seekers. You see the point? And why can't we create a system that if you are even a job seeker, we create a competitive system that people are prepared, that companies know that there are so many people that need the job, that can do this job, but maybe they don't have the capacity, than a system where the companies tell us that we are not qualified for the job. You see the point now? Because we create a system that is capable of, okay, everybody's coming competitive, we're prepared. You say, okay, an accountant, I'm coming with, as I'm graduate, I already have 3 years of experience as an accountant. If I'm studying medicine, I'm already coming out. If I'm studying law, I'm already coming out. As I'm graduating, I already have 3 years of chamber experience. You get the point? That way, even if I cannot practice in Nigeria, there are other countries that can come and say, okay, when I put out my proposal, I'll get opportunity. And in return, you said Nigeria can be exporting those brain to get more dividend in the air. Because when people travel out of the country, they come back, they stay established. So the system will cycle and will build a proper. That's why you see the job creation will be rapid, because when those who can actually, who are already prepared, who already know what they are doing as per what their passion was, or when they go into school, what their field of study is, when they come back, if they cannot even get opportunity in the system and they have the opportunity elsewhere abroad, they will still come back and create businesses, create jobs in the system. So this is the kind of thing. But when you say, give me a degree and I still go abroad, people go abroad and they struggle for years to get to where they would ideally want to be. It's still the same problem, because they go abroad to go and learn, understudy their system all over, get first-hand experience for the first time abroad. One was supposed to be going as expatriates or people that look at our nurses, for instance. Nursing is one thing that I know in Nigeria that is really very, and medicine. They go abroad, they don't go there as unqualified, but they go as expatriates. They take them in. They don't go back to school or go find a way to find. They just go there. It's not. I'm a nurse here. So I'm not coming here as a nurse. I'm coming here to what do I want to study? This is the point. But we don't have a system where we can say, okay, I studied data science in Nigeria. I have experience already. But somebody can study computer science in Nigeria. You will graduate and will come back and they will ask you, what do I do now? That's really the curriculum doesn't match even the reality of the technology industry. You see the point? Because for a graduate of computer science to graduate and coming to roam the street, to tell you that they don't even know what they study, that doesn't match the reality of the industry. You get, but when we create a scheme that is apprenticeship route, where you actually, they match you to a digital organization. If you want to study IT, what aspect of IT? Okay, you will match it to a company. When you get the company, as time goes on, they can streamline you. Okay, as you're coming up, probably you went as a software developer, and I'm not like, okay, you got a little bit of database management or a little bit of data analysis skill. As you're coming out, you package all those ones. You become robust. You have a robust CV with experience and reference available, and you become competitive. So that's the kind of system, kind of school I want to be hearing, that they create school. Not telling me you're creating school that with the same curriculum, or as far as striving for more universities, creating more graduates that will not actually create job. Just give me one moment. So this is the trouble we're talking about. You get, we must look for a way to strategically solve our problem. And I always say this, that the problems we're facing now, they are problems that can be solved innovatively, strategically, like unemployment. I don't see unemployment to be our problem if we're really willing to solve it. It's just to put everybody out in a, okay, look at the Empower scheme. The Empower scheme, to me, it doesn't really, it's not well analyzed enough. And the output is not, okay, I don't know the KPIs, their own key performance index that they're using to judge the system. You get, but at least they should know that there are people that are coming out of the Empower program, they are not being recruited. It's not as if they still recruit in Nigeria every day. They recruit. But the question is, who are getting the job? Either man, no man, or people who already have experience somewhere. They are the ones getting the job. How do you get the first-time job? Is the question we're talking about. First-time job, how do you get it? Because in Nigeria, once you have experience in a particular field, it's easy to move around. People, they advertise job here and there as well. But truth is, the degree will bring doesn't match the reality in the job hunt in the sector. You get, in the employment world, what we are bringing doesn't match. We're not prepared for it, and this is the basic truth. It's bitter, but it is the truth. And employers are not willing to spend their money to come and train you for the job anymore. So this is the more reason that I think it is time now our government, our leaders started looking at areas where they can actually streamline this thing in a way that the reform should match the reality, and the key KPIs that they use to measure this thing should be practical. You get? Because if a graduate is sent for an internship, as they are coming back, they should have that portfolio that they can use to say, okay, but look at the empower. We see people telling you, I went to learn sewing. When they come back, maybe some people to get the machine to sew self will see the problem. You understand? So I feel it's time we engage these private organizations and we see if what they can provide, how can you people support, and how can we partner? If it's to do government to NGO partnership, it should be so. If it's to pass a bill into law to say, okay, every organization that let's hear those kind of debate. You get that way people can be given hands-on experience. The answer is what we need. You can go and have 5 years degree in any engineering design, and you come out, the little boy that studied 1 year mechanical design or 1 year electrical, they'll be getting the job added, they'll be getting the contract. You can't still get the contract because you're coming, I'm an engineer. Okay, what have you done? No experience, nothing. But a little boy who has physically known the wiring experience, as in networking a building or wiring a building or wiring a structure, they come out, they practically can bid for a job that you will stand in and you will not be able to see the light. You see the point? So that's why I'm saying that even now, the school curriculum should be addressed from primary to secondary, because once a child finishes secondary, they can actually put their head on that ladder of apprenticeship, and they still come out and they still earn a degree alongside. Instead of going university, wasting day and night, burning midnight candle, reading day and night, killing self for assignment and tests, only to graduate and be roaming the street. It doesn't make any sense. If I know my passion is on electrical, why don't I join any electrical company or digital company out there? Then you build your career from there as a teenager. Once they are graduating from 16, 18, 21, 22, automatically they are coming 21, 22. That's why you see the UK. You see, even in the years, the same thing. You see children who are 30 years, they tell you I have 12 years of experience already. You'll be imagining, how did it happen? It is not by magic. It's because while they are uni, they partner them with organizations where they actually get practical experience in most of the field. Not in every field, don't get me wrong, because they still have courses you study here as a degree person and you come out, it doesn't matter the reality on ground anyway. You still struggle to get a job. But practically, it is proven that the current university system of academic doesn't match the job world. You get? So you're going to school to say, I'm studying one theory course, and you come out and you think that's just how you get a job. No. Most of this job world, you enter, you have that practical hands-on. This is what employers want. So if this is the demand of employers in this day and age, then the academics have to drift a bit to match their reality for people to actually have value for what they are going to study. I think this is what let me leave it here. If you have any comment, if you have any view, please drop it in the comment section or hit me up in my private chat. Let's debate this. You get? I'm happy to host you here. Let's talk about things of this nature. How can we address unemployment? Is it by creating more universities? Do you think we should still create more universities, or we should harmonize the academic system, the tertiary institution? Instead of saying one is University of the World, one is Polytechnic, let us harmonize it. Everybody, if you're going in, you're going in. Let us create a system of 3 days academic system, 3 days learning, not 5 days. You get? If you're going, whatever you're studying, it is 3 days. Then you have 4 days for yourself to study, or to do to chase your life, your personal passion. And why don't you still create a scheme, a system of learning where children learn through apprenticeship route? You partner with an organization, but you still have that degree. Look at the apprenticeship scheme in the UK. It is partner to both private companies, public government organizations, and even normal road center and all those things. So it covers everything as far as to skill-based, academic, it covers everything, professional and non-professional design, hands-on and non-hands-on. You get? That's why, and they have different vocational centers like NVQ programs where you can actually do B1, B2 diploma, but it's in a practical environment, in a learning, in a work environment. I want to become a train driver. You can't take NVQ in real train driving. You get? So you are working with a train company as a trainee, and they train you for 2 years. When they finish, you find a way into because you come out equipped, you are proper, you can drive a train properly, you know everything about what you need to get on the job. They package your CV and you start looking for a job. The same applies to every other sector, carpentry, name it, plumbing, they have it, gas engineering, just name it. They have all this painting. We have MVQ in painting. Why can't we have such a system? And this is what they are still graduate. They come out, they still have the same degree. You are thinking you're going to go to university or you can go to university to study interior design, but somebody will still go study that interior design in a construction firm. They work with the firm as a painting interior designer for 3 years. And as they are doing it, there's a structure in place where they actually assess them. So it's not as if you're just going to study, okay, you just carry a brush every day with paint. No, you still study the components of paint, how to produce paint, how to roll paint, why color matching. There's a lot that goes into those things. And they study those alongside. So that's why they do them. When you're following that apprenticeship route, you don't actually necessarily use 5 days to go to site. No, you go to site a couple of days, then you use other days to go and do your assessment. You use the point. So it is a scheme we should look into in my own submission. And I believe that will actually liberate most of our youths from the street of unemployment. I leave you with this. Let's catch up here tomorrow, hopefully, and let's discuss more of the issues that bother us. But as you ponder upon what I've said, ask yourself, what can be done to address the issue of out-of-school kids that's on the rise in Nigeria? And what can be done to address the issue of unemployment? Is it creation of more school or academic curriculum reform? Should we reform the academic curriculum? Should we reform the academic system to match the current reality of the job market? Or you think our leaders should create more schools, create more universities, like we see now, like Lagos State, Delta State, name all the other states that are fighting for creation of more universities? Is this, you think when they create more university, we'll have more jobs? At least university will create job where they will recruit our people. Or you believe that, okay, if we reform the academic system such that we have 3 days study system, we drift more into, we push more into assessments-based learning than exam-based, like assignment-based learning, so that more curriculum should have to follow assignment and assessment rather than say exam, which drain us more. I'm not saying there should be no exam. There should be exam, but not most of the modules shouldn't be exam. Then we should follow 3 days, less exam, more of assignment, assessment, so that people can have this time out to chase their personal passion and career on the side. Then on the part of different academic system, let's streamline this. Say, okay, college of education. No, all those should be. Either we have University of Education, University of Engineering, University of Account. Let's do that way. Then so everybody will have the same degree. So irrespective of how you're going, we still have the same degree. We can have, like the UK, they call it MVQ. We have MVQ. They have different programs like that, but they call it MVQ program, QCF, and all those kind of things. You have different level of diplomas, but they all match up to the university system at the end of the day. Then why don't we look at creating an internship route where we actually have, I want to become an interior designer. You go to where a company that can do. So there should be a platform as you're registered for, just register for JAM. The same JAM can organize and say, okay, I want to go the academic route. I want to go the internship route where, okay, I want to become a data scientist. We'll look for an IT company. You see the list there that offer the data science internship where you study the same 3 years, but 2 days on the job or 3 days on the job, 2 days for assessment where you actually read and understand different statistical models and how to address mathematical equations that relates to data analysis. Or you come to painting, interior design, carpentry, the same thing, just the way it is in developed countries. When people come out, they come up with hands-on this, they can create little companies. That's where you cannot talk about policies like, if you graduate and you can create we give you so award. That will make sense. I think that will liberate our system. I want to hear your view in the comment section. How can we match our academic system to the job world, to the employment world of today? Drop your view. I leave you with this. I'm your host on this show. I'm TG. Bye-bye for now.